Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. Brian Carson here with my co-host Kenny Varner. How you doing, Kenny?
I am doing well, Brian. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Special guest tonight. Two guys that really need no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. They were the main principal fundraisers for the multi-sport complex and the great debut of the Donald M. Chapman III Stadium at Kish Bank Field for football on last Friday night. Joel Diamond and John Pannizzo, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So let's get right to it. What was it like for you two, considering you were there from day one, from like the idea, the conception of the idea to it being finished and what you're seeing? What were you feeling Friday night, both of you, as everything was going on?
4 years plus of planning, work, finally came to fruition, and just felt good for the community, felt good for the donors, felt good for the administration, feel really good for the kids, because this is what it was all for. And we've been able to see the kids practice over the last month, 3 weeks to a month, and just to see a full house at Donald M. Chapman III Stadium was just, it was surreal. I'm not sure we envisioned that much when we started.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my emotions were changing the whole way throughout the night. And I know Joel will agree with this. I mean, at first it was like, wow, we're here. And then they played the video of Don Chapman, and that hit us both pretty hard emotionally. And then getting to see the donors walk out on that field, him and I were standing there and we're like, wow, this really happened. And then throughout the night, just had a sense of pride that our community could make this happen. I know Joel and I get so much credit, but at the end of the day, the donors, from the top dollar to the lowest dollar, every single dollar mattered. And I just kept thinking about that, how everybody that gave us a dollar brought us to this point. And it was a pretty powerful night. Really proud of what Mifflin County has accomplished.
So, like Joel mentioned briefly, for both of you, did it exceed your expectations of what you expected it was going to look like, and the atmosphere? And because I know there was 4,000 plus there.
Well, it absolutely grew, Brian. When we started this, we were looking at an $8 million project approximately, which would have been a stadium, not as many seats, and a second field. No field house at the second field, no lights at the second field, no softball and baseball turf. Vance and his team, Tom White, Melinda Knapp, they build on this. Those were the three that were at the original school board meetings when this started, and the project grew to $18.5 million, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy with the school board. We had some discussions with Vance too along the way. I know Johnny and I were in Vance's office a few times saying, you got to have a video scoreboard. And Vance said, do we really need a video scoreboard? And, seeing that video scoreboard, and I give Roger Hurto and Matt Moore and their crew, the kids, just so much credit for the work they've put in to get that. I mean, it's a whole different atmosphere. it's just special. It's something in Mifflin County that was hard to envision that could happen 4 years ago, and it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just couple on top of that. I think we both envisioned that this could happen, but over 4 years, you just the goal kept feeling so far away, and the fact that we can cultivate Friday night there was great. And another thought I had that night was I was remembering at a school board meeting early on when some school board members said, why don't we ask the community to vote to see if they wanted it? And I said, well, why even have a vote? Just give us a chance to raise the money. If we don't raise the money, you'll have your answer right there. And they went that way, and we raised the money. And I was just sitting there thinking about the 4,000-5,000 people that were there that definitely were thankful that this happened, and for generations to come. I mean, so yeah, I always envisioned it could be like this, but once it got there, I was still in awe of what we experienced.
Now,
Yeah, and along the way, let me just throw something else out there. And along the way, it was slow at first, coming together, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and then all of a sudden you start having turf on the fields. Then the bleachers were in, the scoreboard was in. The last month was incredible with just the finishing pieces with the parking lots coming in. All our donors, every donor that gave $1,000 or more, there is a bronze plaque in that stadium. And seeing that happen, a couple months back, the bricks that we sold with the donors went online, bought a brick, and to see the bricks. One of the most impressive things is coming through the breezeway, and it just opens up. The field just opens up. It's incredible.
Now I know, yes, and I agree with you 1,000%. Without the donors, it wouldn't have happened. But I don't think you guys are giving yourself enough credit for. I know there was people. I know personally there was people that didn't think you would ever raise this.
Well,
you're probably looking at two of them.
Is there?
Well, then they don't know Joel and I, because Joel doesn't take no for an answer, and I'm the eternal optimist on raising the money, what we could get. So we were just a great pair in that sense. But someone said to me, I think it was Craig Rutherford, he said to me, he goes, how did you find these 11 naming donors? And I was like, they're the first 11 people we asked. And
Wow.
and they all came in, and we're just so thankful for that. And with each donor saying yes, it just empowered us more and more, and gave us motivation. And yeah, I mean, look, our greatest attribute was, in my opinion, is we had the courage to believe, we had the courage to ask, and we had the strength to stay with this for four plus years and see it through. But at the end of the day, I am appreciative of the donor that from $1 and all the way to the top. I'm appreciative of everybody. It's been tremendous.
Well, it was a belief also, and that belief started. Johnny had the connection with Jake Corman, and we met with Jake 2 or 3 times, and he had helped Belfont out in a project, and we said, you got to do the same for us. And he said, yeah, but you guys got to do something too. Belfont didn't do what I wanted them to do, and I think Jake had to come back a second time at Belfont. And then when Donnie when Donnie came on board, I think it was 2022 before we actually got into it, and we had Jake's 3 million pledge that he would get this done for us if we could get the community behind it. And Donnie said, "I'd like to do $1 million." We knew we had we were smiling from ear to ear, knowing that we had the opportunity at that point in time, because fundraising, and I've done this for 15 years, Kenny and Brian. It's momentum, and Johnny, it's the dollar to the $1 million gift. There's no question about it. But if we didn't have the donors on the big board, we couldn't have gotten this done. I mean, you see, I think there are 11 on that board, 11 or 12, as Johnny said. But you can't do a project like this with the 100 donors we had if you don't have those 11 donors there. You have to have people that are willing to really throw their support behind this community, behind everybody. And once the momentum started, it was, you had a story to tell everybody, because someone, we can't tell you what they gave, but they're interested. Chapman's doing this. Kish is interested. Geisinger is interested. Standard Steel, Lake, the whole way down the list. Capullas, Greeny, Clayton Homes, First Quality. I know I'm missing Fleet Reps, Markel Paper. It all came together because they saw what other people were doing in the community. They wanted to be part of it. And that drove the rest of the gifts at that point in time. But if you don't have those naming donors, then we can't get it done.
Yeah.
But we're thankful for everyone, as Johnny said, but you had to have the biggies.
I see. Well, let's give credit where credit was due. You went down them, but there's we got the Donald M. Chapman III Stadium at Kish Bank Field.
Well, it's the other way, Brian. Kish Bank Field.
Yeah. I'm just reading them in order as they were written down to me. Sorry.
Okay.
The scoreboard is Lake Dealership scoreboard. The Geisinger Field House, the Standard Steel Press Box. The Dell and Rose Garini concession stand. Concession stand 2 is the Clayton Homes concession stand. Then we have Markel Paper Field, the Fleet Reps Field House at Markel Paper Field. The scoreboard is Standard Steel scoreboard at Markel Paper Field. Then we got the baseball field is Capullas Field, and the softball field is First Quality Field.
And then you got the Phillips student section.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Varner sent that to me, but he didn't put that down. So we're going to blame Vance.
Well, he updated that about 2 days ago, and we need to get that on the list too.
Yeah.
But it helped that you knew that John, you knew Corman, but I've noticed you've been like hobnobbing with politicians. I saw you photobomb Shapiro at your OIP. Yeah. I saw you there behind him.
Yeah, we got him to pull a pizza out of the oven and cut it up. He actually did really well, to be honest. I was impressed. He cut that in 8 perfect slices. So wow. Yeah, that was
we lost Johnny.
We lost Johnny. Shapiro cut him off.
Yeah, I guess so. No, I know Johnny was proud of that day, as Lewistown was that day too, it was a big day for Lewistown. And come on back, Johnny. Are you going to make me do this myself?
John, if you can hear me, it says your devices are not connected. You got to get your mic and stuff going, or I can't get you back in.
It
And
seemed like there was a buzz in the air the whole
There we
the whole
go.
week.
Sorry about that,
leading up.
guys.
there he comes.
That's all right. We thought Shapiro stopped you from.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's see that pretty face, Johnny.
Yeah, I don't see your
Yeah.
face, my friend.
You don't see it? I can see myself here.
There you go.
There you go.
So
There, that'll bring people back.
So before we get going here, Kenny brought some nice photos from opening night. I'm going to show people who didn't go.
wow,
Look at that.
that's awesome, Kenny.
That I think is from a soccer game.
Yeah, that was from last night. Yep.
Yep.
Look at that crowd. That's nice to see. There's the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Well, Joel, I had two people today tell me that how incredible the video scoreboard is.
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, it's a game changer.
And here's the walkthrough I think you were talking about, Joel.
Yeah, you can see the plaques on the board there on the right-hand side. The bricks are about where the first two people were standing.
Awesome.
Tom White, Nick Knable, I mean, they worked hard. They work hard in general, but the last 3 months to get this to kick off, it's unbelievable what they did. And our community, we're just so lucky to have them work for us in this community. And same with Vance and Melinda, Clint Iron. I mean, these are just tremendous people we have at that school board, at that school district. And boy, we're thankful we have people like Tom and Nick and his whole crew that were on top of everything.
Yeah, and even the commissioners too, with the Main Street grant that they got. It seems that the leadership we have now is really trying to making an effort to build up the community.
Yeah, I agree.
That's good.
Well, this is the opportunity now, because it doesn't last forever, and we're trying to showcase the facilities as much as we can this first year, because after the first year it's still new, but it's harder to showcase. And we want people from outside the area to realize what we have here in Mifflin County, and people that are looking at jobs in Mifflin County to see what we have. And I hope the commissioners, the school district, the visitors bureau, everybody takes advantage of the good things in Mifflin County that are here now. And we just keep bringing nice stuff to Mifflin County.
How do you think this stadium is going to impact not only the community with sports, but the economy in general?
Johnny, that's you.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you really think about where the stadium was before, if you're traveling up from a mid-Penn game and you get into Mitchell Field, by the time you get out, you don't want to venture anywhere else, and you just get right back on the highway and get out of town. So now all visitors that have to go through Electric Avenue and get to the high school, now when they leave, there's an opportunity now for them to actually spend time in Mifflin County. But the other part of this is even if they don't have time to spend in Mifflin County, we've planted a seed in their head about what's going on here. And next time they come through, they'll be like, oh yeah, I was there before, let's stop here. And I think that's huge for Mifflin County. Whereas before, I think people who came to Mitchell Field thought that was a microcosm of our whole county, of what the rest of the county would look like. And that's not the case. We have a lot of wonderful things in this county. So I think this facility is really going to be a big draw for us. Plus the fact, not only state playoff games, but even invitationals for track and field, band competitions. I mean, those things bring thousands and thousands of people in from all over the Commonwealth. So, I mean, the economy part is easy. We're going to feed off of this, and that's good for Mifflin County.
Yeah, it's to use Joel's marketing language, packaging's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you were from Hershey and you came up for a game and you came to Mitchell Field, you would leave. And someday you'd be on Indeed looking for a job, and a job get posted for Mifflin County. You'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to there. That town doesn't. That's a dying town." You know. Now that same guy might like, "Oh yeah, I remember going there, man. They have this beautiful campus and everything. Yeah, I'm going to look into that job." And maybe they move. Maybe they get the job. And that's what we need. We need to get people who want to come to Mifflin County and be part of this. And it starts with the great school system and facilities too.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and it's the perception thing. Mitchell Field's a legendary field. It's great. It served its purpose.
Mhm.
There's still some people, believe it or not, I've seen them posted. We should still be playing in Mitchell Field. That became, especially when we joined the Mid-Penn, an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
I covered when I went down to West Perry. Have you been to West Perry High School, either of
Yeah.
you?
Yep.
And little West Perry High School, tucked in the mountains, when their field is better than yours, it was it started to become an embarrassment.
Phillipsburg, Midwest, Claysburg, all these communities have newer facilities. But look, we had sewer grates in our playing field. Okay. I mean, sewer grates. Cheerleader tore her ACL on a sewer grate doing a cheer. Okay.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in Kenny, you know that. You're always on the sidelines.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, there's actually sewer grates on the playing side of on inside the fence. So these people don't understand that. I mean, Mitchell Field was great for the history of Mifflin County, and some legendary moments, legendary players came out of there. But it was time for something fresh and new, and safety, handicap accessibility. I mean, let's not forget the handicap accessibility part of all this, which is a major thing. And Brian, I'll tell you this story. My good friend Dave Lukens. You know Dave Lukens?
No.
Dave Lukens, he's he has walking issues, and he has to walk with sometimes with a cane or a walker in town. And I took him to the game. He was my guest. Kenny, I think you know Dave. And he said to me, he never went to Mitchell Field because, quote, it's not for handicapped people.
It isn't.
And
Right.
now he went to the first game, and he contacted me today, and he wants to know if I'll pick him up because he was going to go again, because it
Nice.
is for handicapped
Yeah.
people. And we lose sight of that stuff. Yeah, history is great, and Mitchell Field was awesome for a period of time, but we needed something new and fresh and invigorate this town. And it has invigorated the town. And the naysayers can say what they want, but it has invigorated this town.
And I'm going to say something that probably won't be taken well by some people, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Go for it.
When legendary are the people that are my age and remember the teams back in the late 50s and the 60s that played there. And again, Johnny said it very, very clearly, but Mitchell Field's not legendary from anybody from State College or legendary from anybody from Harrisburg or Cumberland Valley. It's a trash. And I'm
Joel's gonna get some hate mail.
It's outlived its life, and it's time to move on and get into the 21st century. And I graduated from Penn Highlands in 1972. Well, that's over 50 years ago, and the field was a lot more playable back then than it was in 2024. So let's look at what we have and have great memories from Mitchell Field, but they're very focused to people from Mifflin County that remember the good old days.
Yeah,
and
right.
And another thing I want to harp on here is luckily no one ever got hurt, a spectator. Luckily nobody ever fell through those bleachers. Luckily there was never an EMS emergency where they had to evacuate the facility, because if any of that stuff happened, this community would have been forced to pay for this new facility all on its own. And handicapped people just quit going, because they knew it was a risk for them. So it was needed. It was needed for so many different reasons, and not just football. Like, we call it a football stadium. It's not just football. It's not just athletics. It's about the spectators. It's about the band. It's about other community events that we could have there. This is so much bigger than 5 home football games, and we just got to remember that. And yeah, the people had great memories there. Mifflin County people had great memories there, but this is something. We were the first at something for once. No one in the Commonwealth did a project like this, like we just did. We were the first. We didn't wait for everybody else and then do it. And for once, Mifflin County said, you know what? I ain't second to anybody. We're going to do this right, and we should be proud.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I got a great headline for a story though, Kenny.
What's that?
Joel Diamond says Mitchell Field is trash.
Well, thanks.
I love it.
That's today. Okay.
Yeah.
Not, again, a lot of great memories at Mitchell Field, and a lot of great people were on that field and played on that field, but it lived its life, and it was way overdue time for a change. And some people will disagree with me, and that's okay. They can disagree, but I'm happy where we are right now, and I think it presents so many different opportunities for so many people in the county, not just the students, but it's just it's a great facility. It's a great facility. One of my friends said that one of the things that impressed him a lot on Friday night was there was no trash laying around. There's the word again, but people were, when the cans were filled, they were emptying. They emptied the bags. They put new bags in. They kept the field looking pristine.
That shows you they're taking pride in what they have now.
Well, it's a clean facility. If it was dirty, then it would blend in. Yeah.
That's good.
The thing I always say to people, if it was good enough for me, it should be good enough for them. I mean, those same people, I guess they still have rotary phones. You know what I mean?
They might.
Like in every aspect of our lives, we've adapted to change. We've accepted it. We've embraced it. And what we're going to hold on to, a field that was dangerous, that was non-conforming, was not code compliant, was a danger to kids, elderly people. If that was the case, if we're going to hold on to the past, we'll still have a rotary phone. Only just us people who believe in moving forward would have, smartphones.
The guy who still wants the Mitchell Field is going to call you on his rotary.
Yeah.
But I found out
one of the talk about history. One of the people that I sat next to on Friday night was one of the best that ever played at Mitchell Field was Ralph Baker.
Yes.
And Ralph was enjoying himself, and he supported the project. That makes you smile when you have our Super Bowl representative there and enjoying the new facilities and the opportunities in Mifflin County.
I'll tell you a quick Ralph Baker story. When he was assistant coach down at Juniata, I said, Ralph, do you mind if I see your Super Bowl ring? Because it's so iconic. I mean, it's the Super Bowl III, Namath calling the game, AFC beating the NFC, or AFL beating NFL. So he, it was too big for me, but he actually took it off and let me try it. And I said, Ralph, what would you do if I took off with this ring? Just started running. And he looks at me straight faced and goes, I'd catch you. But yeah, you're right. It's a great guy, nice guy. But I want to ask a forward thinking question. John, you're a businessman. Joel, your background is marketing, fundraising. Are you going to get involved at all on like any marketing to attract, like not just sports, but like to attract events to the stadium?
Well, I don't think that's in my position to do that, but I will tell you, they're already talking about the Mid-Atlantic Regional Band Competition coming to Mifflin County, and it sold out Hershey last year. And, now track can go 8 lanes. They're allowed to have tri-meets and invitationals. They weren't allowed to with 6 lanes. It can only be a dual meet. So just those things alone, and then, we got Noah Wise has talked about bringing, the Special Olympics and some of that stuff to Mifflin County also.
Mhm.
So there's chatter going on about doing things. Of course, it has to go through the school board because it's their property.
Yeah.
But there's chatters about doing it, and I wouldn't be surprised. And then let's not forget, our local youth soccer league. They want to start working on bringing back Clash of the Cleats again, and they want to use those fields. And individual sports are probably going to do tournaments to fundraise for themselves. So you're going to see as much activity as the school board will allow them to have.
And
Yeah,
I'll
we were there for.
I'll plan on sitting in the background, and if anybody asks my opinion, I'll probably have an opinion, but I don't think I'm going to actively pursue and bringing any events in here. But I'll surely support what they want to bring in because it's good for the whole community.
Yeah, that would be cool, John, for Clash of the Cleats.
Yeah.
I was there for them. I remember how much crowd they attracted.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? 180 teams, 280 teams,
Yes.
something like that.
Right.
It was crazy.
Yeah. They were playing all over Mifflin County.
And Joel, Joel will remember this. We haven't talked about this in a while. There's a couple of organizations that want to utilize the field for like team building issues, and of course they're going to have to go through the school board and get a facility use form and work through that process. But so there's already companies thinking about how they could have corporate events at these facilities when they're not in session. The school's not in session, and that's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't get is I tried to talk. I know it was $18.5 million, so pretty expensive. I tried to talk Tish into getting an elevator up to the press box, so I could be. They said the press box is awesome. I would like to see it, but I can't get up there without help.
It's awesome only because it's brand new. And really what makes it awesome is those kids in there with the equipment that they got and what they're doing. Just you're in there, you feel like you're in the booth with Howard Cosell and getting ready to broadcast Monday Night Football. That's how it felt in there. How about you, Joel?
Yeah, it's I think Roger had 3 kids working it, and of course he had the kids with the cameras down on the field and streaming. He had an announcer up there for the stream and a couple kids running the scoreboard, and Roger's turning that over to the kids. And these kids, if they go on to further their education in college, and they're going to be able to step in if they want and do this type of thing wherever they are, at either at Division I, Division II, Division III, because of the experience they're gaining here in Mifflin County. So it's a nice educational tool also.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Is there? What do you think right now is the most underrated feature of the complex?
Accessibility,
Joel?
all of it, the whole campus feel. It's everything is right there, and I don't mean just handicap accessibility. I mean everybody's accessibility. You can go to any field. You can go watch, multiple kids play on a certain night that are competing at the same time. Easy to get into all of it. And then the handicap factor of it, you can wheelchair in anywhere. There's great sight lines to all these facilities. I would say that.
I think the maintenance is underrated also, or the lack of having to do the maintenance. Now, they will. I think they can basically do twice a year on the fields to keep the turf in great shape. But you're not planting grass. Weather, with the weather, if it rains, you're not gonna have muddy fields. You're not going to take away from the play. So I think that there's Johnny said so much there. There's just a lot of things other than the vision, the visibility of what's there, and not and for not necessarily for football, but our Olympic sports when they go into the playoffs. I mean, field hockey is a totally different game on turf than it is on grass. Soccer is a totally different game, and it makes our kids. It'll give them a more competitive edge as they go into the playoffs. So I think that needs to be looked at also.
Yeah, I know Tish when she was still coaching, she told me that it was such an unfair advantage because turf plays so much faster, and they're on grass when it was home. Their home field was grass. They'd get on that turf and sometimes be overwhelmed at the speed of the game. And now they'll fit right in, which is good.
Another thing that's underrated is the lack of injuries right now. I mean, first soccer had the most kids ever to come out for soccer came out this year. I think it was 48, and they had no injuries during preseason, no shin splints, ankles, anything like that. Football had no major injuries either. Everyone's fully healthy. I think we were losing sight on the injury factor, how, these fields, because they're not on hard dirt, is better for these kids.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I never would have thought of. No bugs.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
We heard that Friday night and heard that last night also. No bugs versus where they were previously playing.
Where there was bugs, believe me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you guys think that too the mental aspect of the athletes also is affected greatly by it? Because before they had to pack up, get on a bus, go over to the field, and it didn't have any kind of rhythm to it where these guys could come right out of school, focus on what they need to be at the field, get that practice time with no really any glitches in between like you would if you had to bus.
Absolutely. And with lights on both fields, I mean, you can practice till 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. So everybody's practicing on it. Last night was interesting for me because the football team did the first half of their practice on the turf, and the second half of their practice they went down below on one of the grass fields because the soccer team were playing. So again, they were able to basically stay in one spot and get their practice in before the games. And talking to Tish, just to jump on something else, they said it was so nice to be able to have night games for soccer, the doubleheader. I mean, we had three varsity teams playing last night. Started at 5 o'clock and probably finished by 9 o'clock last night, or maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit later. But we were able to get 3 varsity wins last night out at those fields, which, was unheard of before.
John liked that. He has a big smile on his face.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many benefits of this, and just really, really proud that this all came to fruition, and we're just already scratching the surface on the benefits. But Kenny's right. It was a great question by Kenny. I mean, mentally, these kids are just pumped. Everyone I talk to, they just love it. They feel like they're on cloud nine because they don't have to be embarrassed about what they have, because they hear it. As athletes, they hear it. Your field sucks. I can't believe you guys play in this. Yada yada. They hear it all the time, and and then they go down to those schools and see what they get.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel like they're lesser than everybody else. And now you just see a quiet confidence in all of them, and that's just important. It's important in sports. It's important in life.
Well, I don't know if you two remember. Do you remember back when the Central Dauphin field hockey in the middle of the game stopped play and refused to play because they said our field was too dangerous?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah. No, it's that's a hard story to believe, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's just crazy. You never hear that.
Right in the middle of the game, they just stopped.
Yeah.
Of course, people say, "Oh, that field was good enough for me. It's good enough for them," But no, it's not good enough for them because teams are walking off the field.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we did. I mean, our Tom White's crew did as well as they could with what they had to work with.
Yeah,
but
they did.
But it's when weather. How weather can be, and those fields. Once you had a good rain, if you were playing on it, you couldn't repair them in the fall season.
I remember a game, Clearfield in Indian Valley, that turned in one of the biggest rainstorms ever, and it was literally like quicksand on the field.
Yeah.
And on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
At one point, a school board member said about why can't we just reach out to Penn State and see what they do with their fields. Well, Penn State has 5 guys maintaining each field, and then they take care of it all, and they spend the money on seeding and watering and babying it. We just don't have those resources, and they cover it, they tarp them, they take care of those grass fields, and that's why they're special. But that's what it takes, and we just didn't have that. And over time, they just deteriorate and they get really, really bad.
What do you think? This is a question for both of you. With both of your strengths, what do you think within the fundraising part? I'm going to circle back to that. Joel, with you, you marketed and fundraised Penn State, Juniata. John, you're successful businessman. What do you think you two brought to the table that helped convince the donors? Yeah, we got to do this.
Well, I think the donors, for the most part, allowed us to come into their businesses, into their homes, to talk to them, because they, Johnny's been here for 25 years in business. I think you said you celebrated your 25th anniversary in business, or 29th. I'm sorry. And, I've been hanging around here long enough for the old timers to know who I am. So they were, they allowed us to come in and talk to them. And once you allow people to come in and talk, the discussions were very amicable. Whether someone would want to move forward or someone would not want to move forward, that's the way the fundraising game is. And I think they trusted us. One of the things we told them up front, which I think was very important, because there was some skepticism. People had seen other projects in the area. other projects that did not happen and they had made commitments to. But we told them, if this doesn't happen, what you want to do, we rip up your pledge. We tear it up. And if you have given us your first payment on the pledge and the project shut down, we're keeping it in the foundation until this project is well along its way, and you will get your money back. So I think there was a trust with Johnny and I, and they felt that we could work with the administration and the school board, and we would be honest with them. And that I think was a big part of the picture. Johnny?
Well, a few things there. One, not only did we promise them we'd tear up their pledge, we told them that the donor money would be the last money spent, that the state money and the school district money would go before the donor money. So, that was important for people to hear. What Joel and I brought to this and why it worked out so well, we were able to share the vision and help people see it. And then once they saw it, when you have someone like Joel Diamond and myself making statements to people like, we will rip your pledge up, they believed it. They knew our character in business. They knew our character personally, and they believed it. And I think that's the biggest thing we brought to everyone, is that we got them to see the vision and they trusted us. And that was important.
It didn't hurt though, Joel. You was it Chicks or Murph you did sports for?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we bounced around back then.
I know that, believe me. And John, you can like throw up. I know Corman. I know Shapiro.
I don't know Shapiro. I mean, but I've gotten lucky. I've had a couple.
He served pizza at my restaurant.
Yeah, I've had that. Don't forget I had Obama at JP's years ago too. I mean,
that's right. You did.
Yeah, Shapiro and Obama. That was just pure. They were looking for a place that had a great reputation, and they found me, and I was honored to host them. But Jay Corman and I became friends the month after I moved back to Lewistown, and I kind of knew him, but we became friends then because that's when he ran and won his first election, and over the 30 years, I have so much respect for that guy, what he's done for the Commonwealth and definitely for Central Pennsylvania. I had a great rapport with him, and I knew I could be honest with him and share. And trust me, he could very easily have said no to us. I mean, he didn't have to do what he did. But at the end of the day, he looked at Joel and I, and he saw the vision and trusted us that we were going to do it. And he even said, I know you guys are going to get this done, so I'm in. So that was great of Jake, and
cool.
Really gave us a shot in the arm right there.
I know you mentioned some people, but is there anybody you think in this project that's an unsung hero the public should know about?
Wow.
Or is there so many that?
Well, Tom White just goes right up to the top of the list. This stadium project could have been done 6 months ago, but it would not have been done the way it's done today. Tom challenged the contractors on anything and everything that he saw was being done incorrectly. And there's a retaining wall between the Marcal Paper Field and First Quality Field that had to be done 3 times. Tom just would not accept anything other than quality. And, I did not know Tom before this project, and I'm not sure Tom wants to know me after this project. but I can't say enough about Tom White, as he did so much to make this as quality as possible.
You could start right at the top. Vance, with his leadership and getting the board to approve the number one option. I mean, that was huge. Tom's the best. I mean, Tom is the best. We're lucky we have him in that capacity. Tom White, he should be somewhere else. But he loves this county, and he's here, and he's unbelievable. Melinda Knapp, I mean, she's the smartest person in the room. She got the school board to understand why now is the right time financially, and she found different ways and financial strategies to make this work with the least impact to the school district. She was huge. The school board members that kept pushing and pushing and voted yes for it. I mean, they were huge, all the way down to guys like Jason Colon that nobody knows about, who laid out our brochure. And when we put it in front of donors, it just made them see the vision, and Bill Pechtel, who hand sketched a rendition of what the stadium could look like. So many people. I'd be remiss if I missed anybody. I'd hate to miss somebody, but we're just thankful. We got a lot of people that helped, that just did something for us, and that was huge.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. What do you want a first-time visitor to say on the walk back to their car after the event about the stadium?
I want them to come back and say, how in the heck did we get our asses beat tonight? That's the first thing I want them to say. The second thing I want them to say is, what is going on in Mifflin County? That's what I want them to say. What is going on in Mifflin County? I want them to recognize that we are just so much more. I know we get rated as the second poorest county in the state, but those statistics they're measured differently. We are not. We have a lot going on for us in this county. We have a lot of beauty, a lot of great nature, a lot of great organizations, and we are one of the most giving communities that I've ever experienced. When you could raise $50,000 to send a Babe Ruth team to Texas for the World Series in 7 days, that's just tremendous.
Yeah.
And I knew that because I was part of all that. And I thought, well, we could do this. If we could raise that kind of money in a week, we could do this. So I want them to leave saying, what is going on in Mifflin County? That's what I want them to do.
And I'd like them to say, I can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
This is where we want to play. We want to come back. I want them to, we had the executive director of the Mid-Penn League, Randy Umberger, was here on Friday night. I want him to tell Bob Lombardi at the PIAA, you can have state playoff games here.
Definitely.
I want people to respect Mifflin County and know that we're up to the task for any event that they want to play here. So come on back.
Yeah, it could be huge because we do get playoff basketball games in the gym, and they're always packed.
Yeah.
So the stadium, it could be wow.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the 8-lane track is now more guys can see Carter Smith's back when he wins.
Everyone's going to see his back this year.
I would love them to have a mile race, not a 1,600 meter, or is it 1,600 or 1,500 meter, Johnny? You're the track guy.
1,600.
Okay, I'd like them to have a mile race and Carter Smith break the 4-minute mile in Mifflin County.
He's close. It's 4:01 he has.
Oh, I know. And Carter was recognized at halftime at the first game, and he said that is one of his goals to break the 4-minute mile, and I'd love to see him break it in Mifflin County. And to do that, he's going to need some competition to come in that's going to
Yeah.
challenge him.
Definitely.
You just can't go out and run a 4-minute mile when you're leading the pack by a half a lap.
Well, like John said, maybe now we can get some invitationals in here, big time teams, and let him do his stuff.
We have 1 year left to Carter Smith in Mifflin County, and
I know.
that starts on Saturday morning at the Big
BVI.
Valley Invitational.
Yeah, I will tell you this: what he's doing is incredibly special.
Yes.
It's I never thought I'd see anybody do things that he's doing, let alone someone from Mifflin County. And I tell this story. I used to have to coach against him in Babe Ruth, and we would just throw him fastballs because I couldn't afford to walk him. If I walked him in 2 pitches, he'd be on third base. So we would just throw him fastballs, and hopefully he'd just pop up. So he's a real deal. He's a great kid, great family structure. We are blessed. We need to sit back and just watch and absorb it, because there will never be another Carter Smith.
No.
And I hate to say that, but he is special.
Yeah, you don't have many national champions coming out of Mifflin County.
We might have a world champ, though.
You bet, Trent Hidley.
Yeah.
We are having a renaissance.
champ.
We're having a renaissance of athletes. Trent.
Yeah.
Trent is
and
now.
There's another one. There's another one. You're saying unsung hero. Trent supported us on Instagram and shared it with everybody. And
did he
buy bricks for us? And stuff. Just so many people out there that just did stuff for us to help us. I mean, the list is so long. But
I know at the Worlds he's going to be seated third, but I will point out. I will point out in his last tournament, he beat the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
the guy that's going to be 1.
Brian, I don't know that he's going to be seeded at all because he doesn't have the points. And it's based on points. So he might be an at-large, which
it doesn't matter where he goes.
Nobody wants to meet him in the first round, I can tell you that.
It doesn't matter where he goes. But right now he's ranked 3rd in the world.
Right, he is, but I don't think he'll be seeded. Mark sent me today his anticipated top 8 seeds, and Trent was nowhere to be found in that. And again, it's based on a point system.
Good, he'll slide under the radar.
Well, he hadn't wrestled at 92 kilograms before, so he didn't earn points until this past tournament. He earned a lot of points there, but I think on the points he's like in the 20s or something nationally, 15 to 20, something like that. But he's going to be ready to wrestle here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, he made the right decision. He looked so good at 92. I mean, he's big, strong. He doesn't have to cut weight.
It's going to be exciting. That's for sure.
So the one thing you guys should do, and I know you're not, I know what you're like. I would be puffing my chest out a little bit, I'd be going, yeah, I did this. I got the money. Yeah.
There's no I on that.
It's
not with us. There's no I.
I'm just kidding, guys.
We're us. I mean,
it's.
There's an I in Pannizzo and Diamond.
Right, but together we're a team, and
I mean,
I'm just having fun.
We're grateful. I know we're just grateful that the community wanted to see this also.
Yes.
One of the people we'll talk about, I can remember the meeting we had with Bill and Luke Lake. And Bill told us afterwards, I had no intention of doing anything. The only reason I took the meeting was because I like both of you. I know both of you. And after the meeting, he said, this is real and we're going to do something. And those are the neat stories. So that's, again, the trust and the vision. And, it meant everything to us.
We had another donor won't say who. We went to talk to him, and we had to sit there for a half hour listening to his gripes of the school board and what they'd done. And, and he had this in him and he wanted to get it out. And he's a great guy and he shared it. And at the end, he was able to put it all to the side because he knew that this project had to get done and it was the right thing for the community. And, and he stepped up to the plate. And, that was a fun meeting, and he had a lot of great points. He was probably spot on everything, but he believed us that we were going to get it done. And he knew that this project had to happen. And he's been a proud supporter and donor in this whole process.
But in all seriousness, you guys, the whole team, all of you involved, should be very proud of what you've accomplished.
Definitely.
And what you've done for the community, which I think is going to be a huge benefit. John, Joel, I don't have a rotary phone. I know I know the future is here.
Well, Kenny might have a rotary phone.
He might. Can you have a rotary?
He don't throw anything out.
No rotary phone, but I have an Atari.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what's meaningful to me, Brian. When someone says something like that, I mean, that's what's meaningful. That it just feels good that somebody noticed, and then we just keep going. That's all.
And we have friends, lots of friends that didn't participate in the project, but gave us feedback. I had a couple of close friends of mine that we just never got around to getting a commitment from them, and it wasn't the right time for them. And Joel did too, but gave us feedback, and so people participated in different ways for us. Plus, we had people like JT Thompson and Brianna Barorf and Becky Stringfellow, just Christina Mazur. I mean, there's just a bunch that would come to meetings and just really be honest with us and tell us what they think. And we were able as a team to come to decisions and make them and move forward. So, this is just bigger than just us, but we're thankful.
No, but I watched it. I couldn't because of Juniata, like I said, but I watched the stream, the replay, and the atmosphere there was just, it was out of this world. I mean, that's something.
I hope you can make it to a game. I really hope you can make it to a game.
I do too.
You really need to see it.
Yeah.
And if you want, I'll come get you and we'll do it. And we'll get you there early and put you right in and get you a great spot. And you need to experience this, Brian. I mean, because
I would love to, believe me.
This December 1st will be the 30th year I got to meet you. It will be this December 1st. And you've been all sports since the day I met you. And for you not to find a way to get there, if you can, you really need to do it. And, I'm going to be honest. I looked down at the sideline and Kenny, I've known Kenny since grade school. We went to school together. So Kenny's so awesome for the youth in our community. And I looked down at the field and he's on the sideline and smiling and going back and forth. And I'm glad he got to share that. And because I know what youth sports means to that guy, and he's dedicated his life to it. And I know what it means to you. So
I know I would have the chills as soon as I went in there.
You want us to help get you there? We will help get you there.
Absolutely.
See, my problem is, and I told Joel off camera, I go, Geisinger, I don't know, for some reason is dragging and I still don't have my prosthetic.
Yeah.
And my wheelchair, believe it or not, I have lost weight, and this wheelchair I have does not fit out my door. And we're in the process of enlarging the door. And right now I'm basically trapped in my house.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, if there's anything Joel and I can do to get you there,
I appreciate that. I really do.
You got my number. Text us. We will do it because, you're every bit a part of this.
Yeah.
Just your support. You're just as important as anybody else that participated in this. You and Kenny. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, you had us back for the third time tonight, so
Yeah.
that's
I appreciate it. Well, it deserves the whole team. If I could get all of you on, I would. But
Yeah.
you're the spokesman. It deserves to be recognized, and congratulations for it. I will get there, believe me, and I will have chills.
yeah.
Just so
Oh, you
long
got
as
4 games. You got 4 games left.
just as long as they let me on the track, I'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So,
I'll-
by the way, the before we get done here, these last 4 games, if you are a student or you have a student that goes to Mifflin County, these last 4 games are going to be pretty special for the student section. You're going to want to go to the games, to the football games. They're going to be collecting some swag these last 4 games. These donors are capitalizing on this opportunity of the spirit of this community right now, and they got swag for the kids, so that'll be fun.
Oh, that's cool. Good.
Yeah.
And something about our knowing each other for 30 years, Johnny. I've been working on my chess because I still remember how bad you kicked my ass all those times. So I want
I
to
didn't tell anybody, Brian. I didn't tell anybody. I was locked away. But if you're gonna break it out,
I'll announce it to everybody. He would. I thought I was a good chess player, and he used to kick my ass in the restaurant.
Everybody has someone who kicks their ass. Pete Ort kicks my ass all the time, so I got to practice to try to take.
I
him
would
down.
get so frustrated. I've been working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost a couple times to Bobby Fischer, but that's okay.
Well, if you want to play on an app, just text me the app and we'll play. All right, bud.
Oh, you could do that.
Yeah, there's chess apps, and you can jump on and send me a link, and then I jump on and we can just play right there on our phones or laptops.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, cool.
All right.
I'm ready. Guys.
Bobby Fischer and Boris Spassky.
Yeah, I saw that one video where Fisher was beating like 10 people at a time. He would go down the board and kick their butt. I mean, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Kenny and I appreciate it.
Yep.
Anytime you want to come back, you got an open invite.
Yep.
Love talking with you.
And thank you for making the Lewistown and Mifflin County a special. You know what you guys have done has just you can see there's been a turnaround in the attitudes of people around the area, and they have something to look forward to now and sports wise to go to. So thank you guys. You guys are great.
Yeah,
thank you. This
is the big time for Mifflin County, and we need to embrace it and keep pushing. Because we're not. We shouldn't be second to anybody. That's how I feel.
There you go.
So
people will now copy us.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I think that's neat.
It is. I mean, we did the baseball and softball field, and if the funding wasn't coming in, they probably would have been the first things on the chopping block. But we were the first to do that. You're going to see everyone do that now because they're all saying it. Well, I have friends out of the area saying, "How did you guys do that?" And they're going to try to figure out a way to do it too. And so we were the first in a lot of ways.
Awesome. And all you people with rotary phones, go buy a cell phone. Get with the future.
So,
all right. Thank you guys once again.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
all right,
it.
thanks for what you do, Kenny, man. Love what you do, Kenny. Keep it up. All right, bud.
Brian, thanks a lot.
Yep. That's Joel Diamond and John Pannizzo. They were the principal main fundraisers for everything in the multi-sports complex. $18.5 million. We did it. A lot of people thought it wasn't going to happen. They made it happen, and it's only going to benefit the community. Thank you, guys, once more.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Night.
So, Mr. Varner.
Yes.
Anything we didn't do predictions for this week.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Kenny. I'm not going to keep track for in case we do bad.
Okay.
But we'll go.
Well, I do got to say that we really, really didn't see the Phillipsburg, was it Phillipsburg Central, going the way it did last week?
No, we all took Central,
Yeah. Phillipsburg might be for real.
and Central. Nothing to take away from Phillipsburg, but Central might be down
That's true.
because I never thought that was going to happen.
No.
Did you see another one we thought was going to be close? State College smashed Gateway.
Mm.
They
Wow. Yeah.
kicked their ass.
Mm.
Well, let's do that. We'll rewind week 0 and tell you what happened locally, just so you know. I have this idea that even if Kenny beats me during a week, I'm gonna say no, so I can win. No, but I did pick a couple right and 2 shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
State College beat Gateway 41-14. Huntington, which I knew they were going to be down. Bald Eagle, Huntington beat Bald Eagle area 14-6.
That was a shocker.
Here was my first shocker. Bellefonte 21-20 over Tyrone.
And I got that one right.
Yes, you did. But I'm going to mark it wrong.
Why is that?
I'm kidding. Mifflin County 42-0 over Central Mountain. Kenny covered that. I covered Juniata over Selinsgrove. That was 18-7. Juniata's first win over Selinsgrove since 1987.
Wow.
Then, wasn't even close. Phillipsburg 48-24 over Central. That might be the first game in a long time where head coach Jeff Broman got through it without losing his voice. Guy yells constantly. Good guy. Then what we expected, BG killed Penns Valley 42-18.
Yeah.
And finally, Mount Union 29-18 over Tussey Mountain. So let's go to, and we have that week 0 now. This is officially week 1.
Okay.
Make your prediction, Kenny. We got a special Thursday game because down in the Harrisburg area, if you do a game Friday night, there's a potential to be killed. Sorry, but
that's always comforting to know.
Juniata 1-0 takes on, I don't know what they were last year, but these guys have been 5-time state champions, Steelton High Spire. In High Spire single A, Juniata's 4A. Maybe it would help. Do you mind if I check?
Sure.
Well, that'll help us out. We'll see. Since we don't know, we'll see what Steel High, their record was last year in football. Because I honestly don't know. I know they've been state champions 5 times. In single A, though. So Juniata, bigger school. Okay. We'll go on our very favorite Max Preps.
Yeah, and if people can remember, they drove into Juniata last year, and it looked good from the beginning, but the physicalness of Juniata wore the Steel High Rollers down, and Juniata was able to come out with the win.
Oh, so, they were 10-3 last year. They were 10-3 last year. That's pretty good, Kenny. Question is, though, The question becomes, who do they have coming back?
That is true also.
So, because they're one of the ones, and that like upsets me to no living end. You could put stats on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't put their stats on. So, all right. Well, let's make a prediction since
Okay.
Juniata looks good, but I honestly, I'll start this off since I covered Juniata last week. They're
Okay.
good defensively. But offensively, it's basically Jasper Sheps and I think it's Eric Ramirez, their running back.
Mm.
And it's down at Steelton. I'm going to take High Spire 34-21.
Okay. Well, I see that Juniata going on the road down to Steelton. It's a battle of matchups, and you take the physicalness of Juniata against the flash and dash of Steel High. If Juniata can wear them down like they did last year with that tough defense, I look for Juniata to come out on top, but it's going to be a close one, 28-27.
Okay. Next up, Bald Eagle area 0-1 at Penn Cambria 1-0.
Boy,
yeah.
That's a tough one.
I don't know. I think just Bald Eagle area lost so much. I'm going to take Penn Cambria in this 21-14.
I was going to say 21-17 Penn Cambria as well.
Okay. Next up, 1-0 Bellefonte at 1-0 Forest Hills.
Whew. It's another good matchup.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I believe in the foundation that Bellefonte has built over the last.
You homer.
No. Trust me, when they were bad, they were bad.
Okay, I'm just saying, people know where you live up there, Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not. I live out in the boonies, so I might be okay. But
don't tell them.
But yeah, Tony Confer has done a super job with these kids from day one. They have more of it's more of a family like atmosphere, and the kids love to rally behind them. So I'm going to say Bellefonte 28-7.
Well, I was looking at the rankings. We did a good job taking Penn Cambria over Bald Eagle area because they're state ranked.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Penn Cambria is ranked 8th in the state in AAA.
Wow.
Well, I got to mention that, though, since that's pretty cool for them.
Yeah.
Juniata is an honorable mention in 4A. So they're close to getting in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go. I know I'll have to take some convincing. They're on the road. I still am not a believer yet. I'm going to take Forest Hills 28-20. Next up, Penns Valley 0-1 travels to Central Cambria 0-1.
Whew. You got a coin to flip?
Yeah, how about
it? Being this early in the season, you can't really tell which either team has.
Not yet, but I have a way, and I'll tell you. I have a way of deciding tiebreakers when both teams have the same record.
Whether they're home or not?
Yep.
Home field? Okay.
Yep. So that means I'm going to take Central Cambria in a close game, 17-10.
Yeah, I have to go with Central Cambria myself, 21-7.
All right. Then we have Northern York 0-1 at Mifflin County 1-0 at the Donald M. Chapman Stadium.
Well, I would say the atmosphere will be incredible once again. Second game of the season. Um, Northern York lost last week, 35-0.
Yeah, good team,
yeah.
Big Spring.
So I'm going to definitely say Mifflin County 28-14.
Okay. Last year, oh, by the way, Steelton High Spires 8th in the state, so they're good again.
Oh.
So, last year, as you may remember, Mifflin County lost to Northern York 42-34.
Mm.
And it was Grady Bonin, their quarterback. He threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for 2. They got Gabe Johnson. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. But they lost a ton on defense. And I'm going to go Mifflin County in this one. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to say 35-31.
Mm.
Mifflin County. Next up, 1-0 Phillipsburg Osceola versus at 1-0 Chestnut Ridge.
Boy, this is so tempting.
Yeah, Chestnut Ridge lately, the last couple of years, has been a pretty good football team.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm going to look real quick if they're state ranked this year. Just go down the line. That'll help us decide, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not that these things are accurate all the time, but no, they are not state ranked.
Okay.
Who do you like, buddy?
Boy, I'm gonna say Phillipsburg. I'm gonna jump on their bandwagon early. After beating Central like that, even a Central team that's maybe down a little bit, that's still impressive. So I'm gonna say Phillipsburg 21, Chestnut Ridge 14.
I'm going to do my tiebreaker again. It's at Chestnut Ridge. I'm going to take Chestnut Ridge 28-14. So Phillipsburg and Bellefonte people will hate me. Next up, 1-0 State College travels to Altoona 0-1.
Oh, this won't even be a contest.
This is going to be ugly.
Yeah, I'm going to say 56-7 State College.
I think you're about right. I'll say the same thing. It's going to be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, last game on the docket, Mount Union 1-0 at Berlin Brothers Valley out of District 5, 1-0.
Boy, oh boy. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to take your thinking, go with the home team, and it's going to be a close one. I'm going to say 35-31.
All right. I agree. I'm going to take Berlin Brothers, and I'm going to say 28-17. So that does that. We made our
Yeah.
predictions. Don't worry, I'll make sure I have more wins than Kenny. Do you have any shout outs, bud?
Yes, I have a few.
All right, we got to hold on. You know what we got to do? We haven't played the music in a while. Feeding the ducks. This is Kenny Varner and his shout outs. Go for it.
All right. First up, we'll go with shout out to Mifflin County goalie Jack Sudam. He made a clutch save yesterday in traffic as the game was getting close to being finished against James Buchanan to hold on to the victory 2-1. So congratulations, Jack. On he had 10 saves on the day,
Nice.
and very impressive win for the Huskies. Staying with the Mifflin County Huskies boys, Jace Bogrovsky had 2 goals in the win for Mifflin County. So great job, very impressive job by the boys soccer team on that new turf. Next shout out is
Wait.
history.
Hold on, you broke up. Say them again.
Okay. Aubrey Schreppel.
Okay.
She made Bellefonte history by reaching her 1,000 career assist against Central. So awesome job. This one goes back to Mifflin County. Friday night, Chase Hartung hit 3 TD passes and ran 1 in the win over Central Mountain.
Good
And
job.
a cool note to that, his younger brother scored a rushing touchdown as well. So that was a good night in that family.
Yeah, how about it?
So I know there's probably plenty more, but that's all I was able to pull down tonight. But you know, a lot of great shout outs, especially one to the whole Mifflin County girls soccer team, who I haven't seen this ever. This was the first, but they went the whole game without allowing a shot on goal.
I saw that in your
And that was
story.
just incredible. So, 2 great starts by the soccer team. They felt right at home on the turf, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I read that. I read your story and I saw no shots.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that's the first time that's ever happened.
Well, I've never covered a game that was.
I mean, in
like
Mifflin County history, I don't know about Lewistown, Indian Valley, and that, but well, good for them.
Yeah.
And is that it for your shout outs, my friend?
Yep, that concludes my shout outs for the week.
Awesome. We went an hour and a half. We always do. It's okay.
Yeah, that's normal anymore.
It was good. It was good talk, and it was a great show with Joel and John to talk about the stadium and everything.
Yeah,
the
I'll tell you what.
multi-sports complex.
Everybody involved there should give themselves a pat on the back, because even opening night there was no, that I could see, that there were no glitches. Everything went off, real smooth, and even Mother Nature helped. Had a nice 70-degree night. It was just a night to celebrate, and it when you get goosebumps where the hair on your arms. It was one of the won't ever forget.
Yep. Good night overall. Hopefully I'll get there someday.
Yes, you need to get there.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up Okay, as soon as I get my tongue back. That's going to wrap it up tonight for us. For Kenny Varner, I am Brian Carson. Thank you very much, everybody. And tune in again next Wednesday. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Good night, everybody.
And a good rest of your week. Good night.
Yes.
You've been listening to The Press Box with Brian Carson and Kenny Varner. Tune in next week for another episode of The Press Box.